Okay, it's the British turn. Turn 21. July 46. I think this is going to be my part 2 video because these are getting a little large and they're hard to compile on my phone and still have enough free space. So I'm cutting them in half so I can delete half of the turn so it fits. If you're wondering why I'm doing it. That and like an hour and a half long video is too long. So the British, let's just jump over here to the Australians first. Where's my little metal chopstick pointy thing? I got a bunch of them here. The way my big fat hand isn't in the way. All right, so the Australians are going to, I don't want to put that on the fleet. There we go. Sea zone just outside of Sydney. They're going to use their major shipyard that they built, and they're going to move 1, 2, 3, and they're going to take this French island away from the Japanese. And there's nobody to fight there, but there is a port that can be used for movement bonus, so maybe they can coordinate with the Americans a little bit. We'll see what happens up there, because the American fleet is way over there. But the American fleet can reach this port, and then these guys can coordinate and give some more movement options for the British and the Americans. So we'll see what happens. We're just going to give this one to the French because there's no point in taking it for the Australians. And, you know, Free France is such a nominal thing that for now, until they make any money, we're not going to give them any extra money because it's better spent by the people that have better positions and whatnot. So, FEC. I got some rather substantial Japanese stacks that are here. I do have a bunch of fighters, but I don't. My units are going to defend better in jungle, so I'd rather defend myself. So we built a Gurkha over here, moved one over there. We built a colonial here. We built an infantry here, and we built another militia here, Malay. And that's all we did. So we're going to just hold on to what we have and make it harder for the Japanese to grind on us. All right. Britain is staying pretty chill in let's show this here. I'm going to rail move this one infantry up to here again. I'm just really trying to stack this because this is worth a bonus. And the last thing I want is the British to lose their $3 bonus and give the Italians a $2 bonus. We want to snuff their income. Speaking of snuffing income, up here we have the British bringing in 2 Marines through the narrow crossing in a combat move. And then we have these 3 attack transports bringing in 6 infantry. Over here in southern France here, we moved these British units from Aquitaine into here. We just left that empty. That's fine. If the Germans want to spread out and take that, we can just land on it and take some units out that separate from the rest of the flock, so to speak. The British are going to strategic bomb this factory, and the Germans are going to scramble a fighter out of Western Germany and another one out of Berlin to do an interception. I haven't done one of those in a while or at all this game, so I figured why not? And maybe we can kill that bomber that keeps costing Germany so much money that it can't build units. And that's the whole point of bombing the factory, costing it money so it can't build units. So that is the only combat I need to roll for the British, because everything else is uncontested. The British are going to be taking $2 from the Germans, and they're going to be keeping it for themselves because Paris is not liberated, so they don't have to give it back to France. And France is such a non-entity at the moment. So I'm going to do an interception roll here. So I'm going to give 2 blacks to the black fighters, and I'm going to give 1 blue. Actually, I'll give a yellow because it really stands out, and I have my strategic bombers painted yellow. So I got 2 at 3, and I'm just going to double check here that my strategic's at 1. think it's the heavies that are 2. Yeah, strategics at 1. It is the heavies that are at 2. Okay, so 2 at 3, 1 at 1. And this is going to see what happens. Nobody got a hit. 12, 9, and a 10. Waste of time. All right. So now we do the strategic bombing, and at the same time that I drop 2 dice, I'm going to be rolling an anti-aircraft gun at 3, 1 shot. So we've got a 12, and that misses, and then we got 2 5s for damage. So we'll take a couple of my red chips because I'm using them to show 5s here. And lo and behold, this aircraft has got the range to return to Normandy's Air Base. And we're just going to reach 3.5 feet across this table. And put 10 damage on the factory in this location. Which is going to be brutal because Germany's going to have to repair that location if they want to build any units there. All right. So that is the British turn. The British go up 2 to 30. And the Germans go down 2 from 49 to 47. So that is the change there. Germany bumped itself all the way up to 55, and in one turn with getting all the attacks, it's back down to 47, where it started, I think, or was it 48? One of those two. So, and it's so far hasn't lost a lot of units because it didn't have any units to lose. All this undefended territory. So now we're going to do the French turn here. I'm going to just turn this down a little bit. The French were here. They scooped up their dudes, because why not? Moved the whole fleet here and dropped them on Eritrea. So they've taken that away from the Italians. I believe some of their, this is going to affect some of their bonuses or points at the end of the game. I can't remember exactly how that happens, but when a little bit behind the 8 ball on all their bonuses. They're also going to build a tank here, and they're going to build a militia up here so that they can attempt to do something maybe, or hold off better if the Italians or the Germans decide to come at them. And that should be it for this turn. So that is the French turn. France collects $3. It's saved 5 from last turn, or whatever. So it had 8, and now it has 3 in the bank. And the British get to collect 30. They got some Italian money, they got some French money that used to be German, and they got a rather substantial hold up in here. 8 infantry at the top, 4 infantry, a tank, and an artillery at the bottom. If they want to, I'm not sure whether I want to surround Paris, or whether I want to have the Americans hit it first, or whether I want to just bypass Paris and cut it off and hit Alsace-Lorraine. One of these is going to be a good option. I'm just not sure which one's the best yet. So we will collect $30 for the British. We will collect $2 for the Dutch. Hopefully we can liberate the Netherlands next turn, or maybe Belgium as well. We'll see what happens there. So the British get 30, but they get $3 for their bonus of the Suez being owned by them. FEC is down to 11, no bonus because Aiden's still taken by the Japanese. And Australia gets 7, but no bonus because there are Japanese warships in the Dutch East Indies, which are within 2 of Australia. So There we go. That is the British and the French turns, and we'll see what the Italians do next. I really don't know what I'm going to do with Italy yet. There's the beautiful thing about this game is there's a whole pile of things they can do, but which one? They can only do one, maybe two, not the 10 things. And every time we do something, you eliminate the other options. We'll see what I do next. It's the Italian turn now. Italy's going to convoy this spot right here. So let's just roll out a quick convoy. I always do black for attackers. So, and it's a tie, but Anti-Submarine Warfare and Radar gives them a +3, and I only have a +2. So nothing happens. The line gets a roll at 2 and it misses. I've had no luck on that line on both directions. And this sub's pretty much been here since Italy's been at war. It is doing an effective job of eliminating a Japanese or British income bonus, though. So it's doing something. Now what we have here is a little bit of movement happened here. So let's just leave it here. So the transport that's here moved the units from Crete to there. I moved a destroyer, and one of the 2 destroyers that was here moved here. One moved there. The cruisers that were in here have moved 1 or 1, 2, 3, because I had access to an Italian port on this side. One of the destroyers that moved here moved there. One of my transports has moved 1, 2, 3, and non-combat moved 2 infantry across the road here. I mean, I could have also moved the infantry 2 and then 2, because I only moved 2 across. So, however you want to figure I did it. I've non-combat moved the fighter that was down here in Gibraltar up to here. Using Italy's $28, we built 7 advanced mechanized, since they defend at 5, and then we're going to put them in the mountain territory up here. And they have an attack at 4, so they might be more useful than an infantry attacking at 2. And then over here, the Japanese are sitting a plane 1, 2, 3, and it's going to go 4 and 5 and land back here because they have long range. And they're bringing 3 Marines in against the advanced mechanized and a tank, and that gives them 2 bombardment shots at 4 and 1 at 3 from the heavy cruiser. We just want to be able to steal $3 more from the Russians. The Italians could really use 3 extra bucks, and that's the highest yield they could find, and it will also help to protect the German income at 5 down there. It's seriously affecting the Russians in a negative way and giving them a reason to not focus on Italy and German home country. It's like a Hail Mary. So really it is a Hail Mary. So I'm thinking I'm going to lose the Axis on that side, but Japan's starting to turn into a monster at the same time. So we'll see what happens. So we're going to do 2 bombardments at 4. Look at that. We got 1 hit, and we're going to do 1 bombardment at 3. And we definitely didn't get 2 ones, so that's a hit. I'm assuming they're going to lose the advanced mech because it's cheaper. They both defend at 5, so that's first strike hit, and it doesn't get to shoot back. Now we're going to roll the fighter at 6, and that's a total miss. And 3 Marines at 1 because it's mountain territory. Thank goodness they're not KMT. They all would have ran away. 1 tank back at me at 5, and that's a miss as well. Look, this is going not too well. All right, so let's try that again. We've got 3 Marines at 1. They all failed. A fighter at 6. That's a hit at 5. And we got a tank in retaliation at 3, so that's a hit. All right. So that was pretty boring, but there you go. A whole lot of rounds. Nothing like attacking at 1. So there we go. We lost a Marine. So now we're down to 1 Marine. Italy's going to go up $3. The plane's going to fly over here to join the Italian infantry that's left behind. Yeah. So there we have it. Oh, also, the infantry that was sitting in Bulgaria has just walked over into Yugoslavia because it's closer to the Italian border. And I'm more worried about the Russians taking the $3 from the Germans than I am them taking the $1. It's all, when you're nickel and diming yourself, they add up. So we shall see what happens. So Italy has gone up $3. I wish I had a round. I'll kick it around. But they're from 14 all the way up to 17 now. And the Russians are from 53 to 50. I mean, I'm probably going to have the Russians take that money back, but Italy can really use the money. So I have one more thing to do with Italy, and that is called the wartime economy. And that is a 6. That's nothing to sneeze at. It's 50% of what I could get. Little tidbit. Italy just got the tech for advanced mechanized this turn. Nothing else. The British did successfully manage to get wartime economy to stage 3, and they did finish improved factories. And I forgot to show you what I built with the British, so we're just going to jump up here. The British built 5 tanks and 1 infantry in London, and that is what happened there. So I guess that's the end of the Italian turn. What did I say they got? They got 6 for the bonus, or for their wartime economy, plus they get 2 for no surface warships and 2 for Gibraltar, so that's 10. Plus they get 17 more. What did I say? That was 10, 20, $7 to the Italians. That's kind of insane. But Germany's getting their butt kicked. So Italy's doing good, only because everybody's focused on Germany first, it seems like. So there we go. So in case anybody's interested, the finer details is we've got a fighter tactical militia, 7 advanced mechanized, 4 infantry, and then in Rome we've got a militia and, oh yeah, we're going to rail move this guy mountain infantry up into there since it's a mountain border. And we've got what do I got there? 6 infantry in Rome and a militia. And then over here, I've got 7 infantry and a German militia in Yugoslavia. Up here, we're not doing too great. I have a feeling the British are going to start coming pretty soon, or maybe these French are going to come out, break out into the Mediterranean. I'm not sure what to do with that. I can only deal with what I got on my plate right now is Italy. I can't cover everything. I got some money, but I can either buy Navy or land units, and it's starting to look like land units are my priority with this next door. Just maybe a suspicion that that might be important. Yeah. I have a feeling that once Germany falls, Italy is going to be a fast second. Or it could be the more advantageous target and taken first. Who knows? The Americans go next. American turn, and as you can see, I have completed the Navy. There's nothing there anymore. So let's just dive into this side here. What I've done is I've placed a fast battleship and 2 transports. A strategic naval moved 2 transports home from this port, this major shipyard here from Normandy. They've moved home. And then I moved the other 3 transports back down to here. I do have 1 transport that can take off from here. And I might as well bring some more units up. So let's bring 1, 2, 3 is the move I can make. And I will bring a light tank and an infantry. So let's just stack this up here. So we'll bring a light tank and an infantry to join the British up here. We might as well move these 2 other infantry in there as well. We'll just leave the elite Marines behind in case we need to amphibiously assault with them. I just need to get another chip here. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. Never mind. Let's move it up here. So that transport's dropping off a light tank and an infantry into Picardy, and then the 2 infantry that were here in Normandy are going to walk over there as well and join them in case the Germans decided to give them a 1-2 punch. And they don't have a lot of units that can do it, but these ones can reach, and these ones here in Belgium can reach. Let's just give them no reason to do anything silly now. We want them to just, you know, back into Germany, keep bothering Russia, being so focused on Russia that they forget about these guys. I don't think they're forgetting. They just had to... Things didn't go well for them one round, and that turned the tide hard. Plus, they spent way too many rounds fighting France, trying to take that over. Alright, so that's my builds and moves on this side. Nothing crazy. I just left the rest of my fleets just sitting around, not really moving anywhere. Then on this side, I did a little bit of a move. Most of the Navy that was over here has moved here. So the 2 fast battleships, the 2 carriers with their 2 tacticals and 2 fighters, 2 of the destroyers and 2 of the cruisers have moved forward. And then over here, I placed... Yes, I have 2 shipyards. That's good because I needed to place 6 ships. And then the factory here built 3 of the aircraft that are placed on the ship, and 1 of them was already sitting here, so that's all good. Next thing I need on this side is some maybe another stack of destroyers or light cruisers or something that'll take some hits, and then some transports. And I think we're good to go on Japan then. We should be plenty good. We're pretty darn close to matching their fleet, except for they have a lot more destroyers in the Japanese fleet. But we've matched them in air power, and we have matched them in battleships. In fact, I think we have more. So that is the American turn. The only thing they're doing is a couple of convoys. Japan did successfully get anti-submarine warfare, so it's going to get a roll at 2 in defense. And it gets a +1 on its escort modifier. So not quite. It didn't quite get radar. It got radar to stage. Well, it failed to get radar at all. So radar's still sitting at stage 2. So it's not quite as bulletproof to subs as the British are right now. So I'm just going to roll this out. Black attacker as always. We missed on our shot at 2. This is +1, but so is this. So that's $1 off. So the Japanese are going to have to lose $1. I can't reach their money from this side, but I'll grab it in a second here. And then we're going to float over to here. I've combat moved the sub that was outside of Gibraltar to here, and the one that was here to there. I want to be able to stop the Italians from moving all their fleet through here to attack this. So we put up some submarine blockers here. If they probably won't stay alive, but you know what? If they can take off a unit, or we can split the fleet in 2, so it's easier to hit with our fleet. That sounds like a win. All right, so same idea here. Italy does not have anti-submarine warfare or radar, so I don't have to do anything else. The subs are +1 because they're coastal, and that one really failed to get anywhere. And let's try the other one. That's why I brought 2 on the line. +1, 2 is 2 then. They match, no bonus there. And that's about it. And there we go. That is the American turn. So they've successfully failed to convoy on both of these lines. And they did take off a Japanese roundel. They collect $64 plus their bonus of 12, so they're up at 76. And I'm just going to take the same amount of money I had last turn. and put it back into the bank. But now that we've built that Navy, we can build some transports and land units. Maybe a couple of destroyers or subs or something. And that's about it. So that is the Americans, and that is the end of the turn. I'll leave you there.